Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island All-Stars Season 2, Episode 18.
Every video, Mr. Blake 22226 always asks me, how can you defend Scott's behavior? Like this. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
So we see the final votes. Well, choices. Curtis chooses Ekin-Su.
Ew.
Scott chooses Tina. And Ron is left to choose Danielle. Before we get any further,
Help me.
What were your initial thoughts when you heard that Curtis chose Ekin?
He's a weak man. And now I have my own Curtis story to reference to besides hanging on y'all's, you know, because this is what y'all warned me about with Curtis when he went to Casa Amor.
Yes.
Right. So now I have my own Casa Amor experience with Curtis where he's basically he get cussed out by this girl he chose, by the way. Water thrown at his feet and things of that nature. Then all of a sudden, like with Danielle, he's always talking about like, it's okay, I know how to handle it. I am a big boy, you know, don't worry about everybody turning against me. But now when it's time for you to make a choice and for you to stand in front of that fire pit, you actually cower out and go back to Ekin. What was your thoughts?
I was hoping and wishing that Curtis would choose the route of less resistance. Yeah. But I just knew in the back of the head, at the bottom of my gut, he was going to choose Ekin.
Wow.
And it saddened me to see. But this is the choice that he made. So whatever comes with it is what comes with it.
Yeah.
So Ekin asked Curtis why he picked her. Curtis said that he had to go with his heart and his gut. The situation with Danielle confused him and he wasn't upfront. He said what Ekin wanted to hear in the moment. Curtis didn't like how Ekin reacted to things, but moving forward, he will be honest with her.
Oh, okay.
She's still angry and hurt, but she appreciates being picked and she feels a bit reassured. He would have been heartbroken if she left. He says that he will make her feel like a princess, and Ekin corrects him to say make her feel like a queen.
Wow.
She thinks that she can trust him again, and they kiss.
And listen here, I will say, listen, I'm not with the whole your partner is a princess thing, because a princess to me is a child, right? But Ekin's not a queen, right? A queen don't act out the way that Ekin did, where that actually acted out like a temper tantrum to me, the way that she was cussing and things carrying on and throwing water at his feet and just basically saying F you. That's what she said out her mouth, right? And it's like, how can you choose somebody who can be that disrespectful to you? You already seen it now when they don't get their way.
Right.
Instead of like whole time you over here making eyes or gazing at Danielle and things of that nature, trying to play confused, it's just, you just didn't like the wrath that was coming to you, and you just didn't like the whole villa looking at you type of way because you want to be liked and things of that nature. But I should have known that. I should have known you was a coward, because even on the time that Danielle chose you, you chose to sleep outside on the daybed instead of sleeping with, you know, Danielle and things of that nature. I thought you was a big boy, but you slept outside. So it is what it is.
Danielle thinks that they're both weirdos.
They are.
Harriet liked Ronnie's speech. They end up kissing. Curtis pulls Danielle for a chat. He apologizes to her for making her feel bad by putting her in an awkward situation. But he is going to put all of his energy into Ekin. Danielle tells him, you could have just been honest. I mean, you dragged it on for 3 days, and you should have just said you were closed off if you were closed off.
Whoa.
Danielle thinks that he has no idea what he's looking for, and she really doesn't need any type of relationship advice from him.
Yeah, I'm like, whole time, stop telling me how good of a person I am, and then go give me relationship advice. Now, based on this decision by Curtis,
yes,
do you think this will put him in the top? Will this keep them as the top couple?
No, because I don't think Ekin comes across as authentic.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
I just think that is going to hold them back. They might skate them along as far as not being in the bottom couple.
Okay.
But I can't see them winning Love Island. She just comes across fake.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm very happy that Danielle isn't taking this to heart. She's moving on. She's going to see how things are going with Ron. And she also can see that she doesn't want to be running behind Curtis because he didn't handle the situation well. Maybe he was confused, but he was leading them both along and telling them the same thing. Yeah. So I'm glad Danielle has washed her hands of Curtis.
Yeah.
Tina wasn't thrilled by Scott's speech. And even when he was saying it, I was like, oh, Tina doesn't look happy. Because he was talking about how he likes how she makes him peppermint tea. And that was pretty much it, but nothing about his real feelings. Gabby is talking to Tina saying that, Scott likes you, but you do deserve more. Tina feels that there has been a change with him in the positive direction, but sometimes she feels like she's just not enough for him. At the same time, Scott is frustrated because he couldn't really free flow from the heart like the other guys did with their speeches.
Yeah.
They haven't even gotten deeper in their connection. Gabby tells Tina that she deserves someone who is sure of her, and Scott doesn't appear to be sure of her.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I think that Tina knew before the speech, and I would say Vegas night is probably, of course, when everything hit the fan. So she actually did know, and Scott told her that there was something kind of not quite there, and he wasn't quite where she was at.
Yeah.
So I think that she has to know that things are still off.
Yeah.
And so by his speech being what it was, I think it was more so a confirmation for her that, oh, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that scared her.
Yeah. Going back to your Vegas night, I think if Scott would have told her what he's going to tell her tonight without Vegas night happening, it probably could have landed better. But because of Vegas night and Luca basically coming out, well, that's why you don't like your girl. It's like it's like it lands wrong. Yeah. And now, besides you actually moving forward or actually being transparent, now you kind of got to do damage control. It's like, It's not that I don't like you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're new. Oh, we was on the same season? Okay, scrap that. I like you. You make good peppermint tea. So it's like, it's a lot of damage control. And you cannot, this is very important in relationships. I go by this in my own relationship with Blair. I cannot unhear what you say. So you can apologize all you want, but at the end of the day, I cannot unhear what I heard. So I think the way, to your point, Blair, of the Vegas night, how it came out, she can't unhear that.
That's true. And it's probably piling on.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at it in the way that it should give her a heads up to ease the impact, but it's probably just feeling like overwhelming.
Yeah. Because you got to think about it. The way that Luca said it, that's why I don't understand why y'all like Luca. He said it as if she was like a secret punchline, amongst the guys. You get what I'm saying? That's why, like, we know you don't like your girl, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, she can't unhear that. No matter how much you hug and things of that nature, you gotta end that relationship if you secretly saying you don't like her like that.
Yeah, so Omar and Catherine end up having their one-on-one moment.
Okay.
He said that he is attracted to her. They had a spark at dinner, and he wants that to continue.
Okay.
She's attracted to him, too, and she likes that he's a gentleman. They're holding hands, sitting pretty close. So I'm enjoying seeing at least the beginning of a love story for Catherine. And I agree with what Chris said in the other episodes. Catherine... love you, girl. A little bit annoying.
A little eager.
A little bit annoying.
A little eager.
When you don't have, nothing to do. You all in all the business, which all the girls are in all the business. But I don't know why when Catherine throws out her opinion,
she's the first one on the scene every time. I'm
kind of like Catherine.
Yes.
Pointing out the obvious.
Yes. I'm not gonna judge Omar and Catherine this episode because they just got coupled up, but. Based on the season that we saw not last All-Stars, but the last UK season, Omar is a different type of slow burner as well. But I'm going to give him a chance to prove me wrong. So I have nothing to say.
Okay. So Luca is telling Grace that she is exactly the girl that he wanted. Over the past few years.
Okay.
He actually gave up on believing that he could feel this way about a girl. He really enjoys being around her, and he sees something on the outside with her. She looks forward to having something on the outside as well, and they both tell each other that you have all of me, and they have a kiss.
Ooh, I got a question. Can I ask it?
Yes.
I said, can I ask it?
Please.
Do you think Grace is playing the game a little bit?
I'll say a little. I think that she's into Luca, but I don't know if she's as head over heels as Luca is. I think Luca likes her a little bit more than she likes him.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's necessarily playing it. I think she's going at her pace, but she's accepting where he's at. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to try to be like Scott and be like, hey, I'm not where you're at, because she is along the same road. She's just maybe not as far down. I think Luca's just a lover boy, and he's just a little bit intense.
Okay. Let a guy say, I've been looking for you all my life. It's like, okay. I think Luca is a lover boy. that could also be a sign of immaturity as well. Even though a lot of people say, oh no, Luca's a man and like we love Luca. Listen, a sign of immaturity is thinking every girl is the one. You get what I'm saying? So, but the only reason why I asked that question is not because I feel like Grace is going to do something in the villa to betray their relationship.
Right.
I just don't think they gonna last outside the villa. Like, I think like, hey, it was fun, Luca. We won. You get what I'm saying? But nah, like I don't get the whole this could be a lifetime thing. Like Luca is selling it to me.
Right.
I don't see it from her perspective.
So Tina and Scott have their conversation.
Yeah.
Tina has doubt that there might be something missing. There's not much progression going on here. And Scott says something is holding him back from going to the next level. He wants to be with her. She deserves more, but he just can't give it to her if he doesn't feel it.
Yeah.
He can do the kissing and the cuddling, but that's about as far as that he can go with her. Tina cries in the confessional and she acknowledges that it's done with them.
Yeah, and listen here, I know this is a somber moment. I know this is a sad moment for a lot of people, but I like to use this moment to say I was right. And this is a habit that usually happens whenever we review shows. Chris, you were right. That's a motto for Love Island UK. I told y'all from the jump, I don't see it for these two.
Yeah.
I don't see it for these two.
You did say that.
And a lot of people was telling me, oh, you don't understand, Chris. You are new to Love Island, not true to this. And I'm like, I am new to it, but I can see with my eyes. My eyes not lying to me. I don't see the chemistry from the time, especially since it was supposed to be second time to charm.
Yeah.
Or third time to charm, however many times. If it was supposed to be basically third time or second time to charm, it should have been instant like Harriet and Ronnie. Even though y'all don't like Harriet and Ronnie, and I can understand why you may not like Turbo, you cannot deny that they got chemistry on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't see that with Tina and Scott. You get what I'm saying?
So the guys check on Scott. They think that he handled it well, and Scott hopes that she doesn't get riled up by the girls.
Uh-oh.
Here go Elma trying to rile her.
Here we go.
So Elma comes into the dressing room where Tina's crying. The girls are trying to console her. And she's trying to figure out why Scott broke things off. And Tina says it's just not there.
No.
Elma thinks he needs to leave because he had 2 girls already and they weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Scott then yells for Elma, tell me what you want to tell me then if somebody needs to tell me to leave. Elma tells him directly, if you're not happy with Tina or India, then you should go. Scott says that he'll leave tomorrow. Everything he said in his speech was honest and true, which it was. He likes her peppermint tea.
He do like the peppermint tea.
Elma doesn't get why it had to take 11 days for him to figure this out. She's also upset because they saved Tina to be in the relationship with Scott. Luca and Casey are trying to have his back. Harriet says it's not Scott's fault if he's not feeling it. Catherine co-signs. Tina is annoyed that she wasted 2 weeks being loyal.
And by the way, while Elma's making a scene for herself, by the way,
yeah,
Tina and Gabby walked off.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Do you have any thoughts on like this scene? I have a lot.
I feel like Elma does too much sometimes.
I don't see how y'all like her, boy.
Yeah, because if Tina wasn't going to respond that way, Scott didn't do anything wrong. It's not like he even hooked up with another girl or like, played her to the left when a bombshell came in. He just told her it's just not working. He still picked the girl at the fire pit.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, he didn't try to make her look dumb in any type of way. It just didn't work out. And with Tina saying that she was loyal for 2 weeks, so was he. Like, you guys were trying to see if there could be something there, and it just wasn't there. So Elma, she's just doing too much like she always does.
Like she always does. And beware of, let me get my pen ready.
Yes.
Beware of people like Elma who would take your tears, your sad moment, and make it about her.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what Elma did. Like, Elma came in there, basically said, well, you need to go home because we chose Tina for you. No. First of all, let's go with technicalities. America, well, not America, UK voted who they liked. They did not like Tina.
Yeah.
Right? I was safe. Right? So y'all don't put the decision and the weight of y'all decision on me. I was safe. You shouldn't even consider me in the decision because United Kingdom said I was safe. Yeah. They said I was likable, right? so the ones that they did not like was Tina, Martell, and Cass, and what's the
Nas.
And Nas. I keep forgetting the Nas one, right? They did not like them. So you should have made your decision based on y'all two having the power. So let's take me out of that. Let's start with that. Elma, also this whole idea of like, oh my goodness, you've been here for 11 days. How much time does it take you to like somebody? Everybody can't be like you, Elma. I don't fall in love the minute I see a guy.
Exactly.
Sorry, right? I don't fall in love, and guess what? I don't really think Sammy like you that much, so I think you should worry about your own relationship, but that's just me.
And he's 23.
Exactly.
Girl, please,
so it's
real.
like, so sorry, you fell in Ronnie the minute that you found out you was paired up with Ronnie and things of that nature. You make everything about you to the point where even when, I wonder if you noticed this, Blair.
Yeah.
At the fire pit when the speeches was over, she ran up to Harriet and basically said, oh my goodness, that speech you got was so nice and things like that. Now look, we don't got to fight for him no more.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, this is not about you.
Exactly.
Like, get up out my face. Now, my thing is, Luca said something that I thought was fair, right? Which is, how y'all go ask for honesty and then when y'all get it, y'all don't like it. It's just, y'all don't like rejection. Tina, I'm sorry. You're not the it girl, right? I don't like you like that. And I know it may seem, it's harsh in some factors because you could do everything right and I still don't like you. So I don't understand this whole like I have to leave now because I had two girls or something like that and like because you sacrificed your friend. It's like, Elma, this is not your villa.
Right.
This is Ekin's villa. Okay, so do you have anything to add?
No, that's all.
Let's keep going.
So it's bedtime. Scott slept by himself. Elma and Sammy were kissing. Luca and Grace were kissing. Scott, the next day, it really didn't look like he slept much.
No, he didn't at all.
So Tina is still crying the next day.
Okay, Tina.
And honestly, I think what Tina's more upset about is that she feels like she's not enough. And she's been single for all this time because it's been how many years? 10 years or something like that?
I think 9 seasons ago, something like that.
To where she's been on the show, and maybe it's more so of the fact of she has been dating and trying to.
Matter of fact,
you're
right. I need to be more sensitive. It's not that you're not enough. You're just not enough for me.
Right.
And listen.
For Scott,
maybe,
like y'all aren't supposed to be together.
I need to say for me louder.
Yes.
You're not enough for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But the crying is too much for me, honestly, though.
But I think it just comes from the fact that she's still single after all this time. She's back on Love Island and it's still not working out. And
that's fair.
And it might just have to do with the guys that she's choosing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Hey, who knows? But I will say, hey, Gabby, can you let me loose a little bit? I'm trying to walk to brush my teeth, okay? Let me loose.
Exactly.
You know?
So Tina and Curtis talk. She feels like it was all a lie. She feels like Scott hasn't been honest. And Curtis tells Tina, look, you're a cool person. Scott just isn't the guy for you. Scott tries to pull Tina, but she doesn't want to talk. Luca says, look, the boys, he's talking to Elma. The boys came to the defense of Scott because they didn't really know the whole situation. And Elma starts crying because they sent Kaz home and she cut off someone else's time short. And then Scott joins Luca and Elma. And Elma says, you already knew there was something missing when we sent someone home because of the Vegas night.
Yeah.
Things came out at Vegas night. Scott told Tina that he wasn't fully in it, and she could have said that she deserved more and left the situation, but she didn't. But he couldn't be fake and ride this thing out to the end. Elma asked what he's looking for, and Scott says he's looking for that spark, but he is going to fix things with Tina.
What is your thoughts on this? I
don't know why he's apologizing to Elma.
Yeah, it's like it's weak.
It's just annoying.
You're right. And also because Elma, it's not about you. It's not about you. Let me say one more time. It's not about you. Because at the end of the day, okay, you save Cass. Let's say she saved Cass, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? Elma goes home. I mean, not Elma. Tina goes home.
And Cass would be on with her fourth or fifth dude. So why aren't you telling Cass to leave?
Exactly. So it literally makes logically no sense.
Yeah.
Right? Stop trying to make it seem like you end someone's time short. No, you did not end this short. Technically, the UK had a hand in that when they voted for their favorite people. And as much as Mr. Blake, I know you are a loyal fan, so I'm not coming at you, but I'm coming at you. As long as Mr. Blake keeps coming in the comments saying, how can you defend Scott? I'm not the only one. The whole country's defending him. You get what I'm saying? The whole nation's defending him. So my whole thing is, don't think that you brought Tina back for me. Tina was in danger because I keep saying America. United Kingdom don't like her, right? And if you would have chose Cass, she would have been gone.
Yep.
And then guess what? Cass would have been trying to steal somebody else, man. She probably would have stole Sammy.
Probably.
So it's like, Elma, relax. Get up off me. You know what I mean?
So Danielle and Ron talk.
Mm-hmm.
She really wasn't feeling her talk with Curtis. He was trying to give a speech, trying to give her advice.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle doesn't want Ron to think that he was the second option. They're both happy in their couple, and if feelings developed, then that would be great.
But he was the second option.
He was.
Actually, not even second. The only option.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that Ron can push this relationship forward, because I'm thinking, Ron, you're starting to feel like Nas 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting real comfortable and enjoying your vacation a little bit too much. I need you to like put the pressure on.
He said it out his mouth. He said, I'm laid back.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. This is not a vacation, brother.
Right.
This is Love Island.
You're at work.
Get the boys off the island. You get what I'm saying?
Scott is deciding to leave early.
Oh, boy.
He's telling Luca that he can't force connections, and he wants to encourage Luca and tell him that he's proud of what he has with Grace.
Okay.
Scott gathers everyone, tells them that he's leaving. He has a one-on-one conversation with Tina before he goes to where he apologizes to her and tells her that there is nothing wrong with her. He wants her to give every bombshell a chance and really do her big one inside the villa.
Okay.
Scott packs up. The boys see him off, and then we see his interview with Maya.
Mm-hmm.
He again relays that he was missing the spark. He's older, and he navigated as honestly as he could. Before, when he was in the villa, he had an instant firework type of connection, and it was easier, and it just wasn't the same way when he went back in.
Yeah.
He might try to connect with Tina after this, but he's at peace with whatever happens.
Dude, you know what's funny about all of this?
What?
Even with him leaving, he is still giving Tina the short end of the stick.
Yes.
It's like even when he called himself doing the right thing, it's like you're still effing her over a little bit. She don't have a couple. You get what I'm saying? So it's like.
But I wonder. And I didn't think this before, because I'm like, he still pursued Tina. But do you think the fact that she was with Casey before? Do you? Think
I told you that.
You think that's a big thing? That's holding
Yes,
him back?
I told you that.
I wish he would say that, but I guess it's probably best for him not to say
I
that.
told you that.
Yeah.
I said, like, yo, who was crying the hardest when he relayed the news that, like, I'm leaving? The guys, right? So if I feel like these are my bros, and one of my bros telling me, hey, you got a little thot over there, right? Even though she's not thot, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, I already hit that. I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to go after my man.
My thing is, why would he pursue her over India in the first place?
But my whole thing is, I don't remember exactly, but when it was time for them to be coupled, did the women have the power? Didn't Tina choose? So, like, didn't he not have a hand in it?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, well, guess what? I like it because it supports my side of the story, right?
But the only thing I can say is...
Into the mic.
Okay, the only thing I can say is that he told Tina and India that he was going to explore relationships with both of them. So I'm saying that, so clearly that wasn't a barrier at that point.
No, but look, man, Scott, maybe you are too old, but at the same time, I'm not going to use his age as a reason of why he didn't do what he do. It just, the cards that he was dealt, he didn't like, right? With India, I felt like it probably could have grew to something more, and Tina confused him. I think that was real confusion, right? Because it's a blast from the past, besides somebody totally new, Curtis.
And it just wasn't clicking.
Yeah, it just wasn't clicking, even though it would feel like it should click because it's a blast from the past.
Right.
So that makes sense to be confused about it, besides Curtis, right? Now, when it comes to just like me not liking it, it's like, yo, like, what do you want me to do? Like, he said something that I thought was very fair. He said, I could have faked this the whole way through.
Yeah, to try to win the money. Absolutely.
And truth be told, I think, like, they could have made it further, maybe, or it just, I like the honesty part of it, right? And I'm going to defend Scott on that, because at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. Now, Tina, you're by yourself. And truth be told, the UK already feel they already feel some type of way about you, whatever. So Scott left today. I think Tina's gonna be gone in like the next. I think Tina's gonna be gone this week, to be honest. So yeah,
that's all I got.
Any other thoughts? But besides what we shared. Any other thoughts besides what we shared today about the overall season?
Only thing I really have to say is that I'm enjoying the season. I'm curious to see people get a little bit deeper in their relationships now.
Yeah.
And if more bombshells come in, like how people's heads will turn.
Yeah.
But I think that people are getting more solid in their couples.
Yeah. I would say I was very excited about the season until Curtis chose Ekin. Because then that seemed like a producer choice to me. That doesn't seem like a real choice. Like, and I'm like, hey, don't manipulate the choices and things like that, because y'all want to keep Ekin there for a long period of time. It just left a sour taste in my mouth that Ekin is still there, because she had no reason to still be there. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. That's it.
Bye.
Y'all.